and you won't be in the recording. It's just me. Okay, well, welcome. I'm very excited about this class. I don't think I've actually ever taught it for GW, so you guys are the lucky people to try it. We're gonna start on our backs today, so in our glute bridge position, so those feet can be a little bit out from your knees. The lower back is pressed down into the mat. And we're gonna squeeze the glutes here and raise up into a glute bridge. So you can actually extend those arms out and press down on your thighs. So you're kind of getting feedback here, so really squeezing and warming up the glutes. And want to make sure that neck is neutral, so I actually like kind of jumping my neck back a little bit, and you'll find that sometimes this will give you a double chin, but you're pressing kind of down and back with your skull. And here we're just going to start kind of bringing our knees in and out, so kind of playing around, nothing too special. We're not opening them up wide, but just in and out, and you may feel your adductors start to fire up a little bit, especially if you keep pressing down on the thighs. Oh, they're warming up. And again, you're keeping that back neutral, so the weight is not in your back, it's all in the glutes and the core here. Good, 3, 2, 1. We'll heel toe that left foot to the middle, bring that right foot up to a 90-degree angle. And we're gonna take that left hand and press it against our right leg. So building some tension between that right thigh and your left hand, and you're gonna feel that left glute really fire up here. Ah, it burns. Good, and then you can take that hand off, and we're just gonna come do some extension. So again, keeping that glute up, extending that leg up and back down. You can always keep it a little bit bent if that feels better. Warming up the hip flexor here. You want to make sure the pelvis is staying neutral the whole time. 3, 2, 1. You can bring that right foot down. We'll bring that left foot up here. Same thing, that right hand comes on to your left thigh, pressing against it. My right glute is much sleepier, so sometimes I have to give it a little punch to wake it up. You're pressing that right hand against your left thigh, building some tension. This part always gets me. Good, you can take that right hand off. We'll come back to those extensions. So warming up the hip flexor and also getting a little bit of a stretch in your hamstring. You can flex that toe in towards you. Good, 3, 2, 1, and we're just gonna finish, still keeping those hips up with some heel raises to warm up the feet and the ankles, extending those heels up and back down. Good, 3, 2, 1. You can lower the hips down and hug those knees in for a second and just roll around on the sacrum. Good, we're just gonna do a really quick ankle mobility warm up, because I've been really into ankle mobility. So you're gonna bring your feet up, but so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm gonna keep them here. But if it feels okay to lift those legs up towards the ceiling, do that. If it feels better to keep them straight, that's fine too. And you're just gonna point and flex your toes. So pointing the toes and then flexing them back in, pointing them out, flexing them back in, and I'm gonna put my feet up straight, but I'm still doing that same thing, pointing the toes, flexing them back in, and see if something feels uncomfortable. Like for me, the pointing the toes, I feel a lot happening in my ankles. Good, we'll do 3, 2, 1. So find neutral, and then you're gonna kind of internally rotate your ankles as much as you can, which won't be a lot, and then externally rotate them. So you're kind of just internally rotating the ankle and then externally rotating it. And this is really, oh, they're already heating up. So the toes are still flexed in here, and you're just, it's a little, like a couple, like a ½ inch in and a ½ inch out, really warming up those ankles. Oh, I gotta shake them out for a second, and then you can come back. I would love to know your feedback at the end if this is hard for you, because this feels very difficult for me, and I can't tell if I just have very inflexible or immobile ankles. Good. So shake them out here. And then you can place them on the ground and just kind of do some circles. So our hips are down this time, and just kind of circle the ankles about to see how it feels. If you're wearing shoes, obviously this is going to feel a little bit different, but seeing if there's any tightness in there, and you can lift them up and down if that feels okay. They feel nice and hot. All right, flipping on over into our tabletop position. We're just going to do a couple cat-cows, and then we'll get into our the meat. So hands are right under your shoulders, and these are a little bit in from your hips. You're finding that neutral spine and neutral neck. And here, we're going to press into the hands and start to drop the neck and press the shoulder blades up into the ceiling. Good. On that inhale, you're kind of pulling those hands back. We're not trying to arch our back, so notice that I'm not here. You're kind of trying to drag the hands back and pulling the chest through. And then on that exhale, you're pressing into the hands and dropping the neck. So take this at your own speed. Again, watching here, you're not arching down. You're just pulling that chest through, finding some length in the low back. Do one more here. All right, one last little chest warm up. So bringing that left hand to your neck. So kind of press the neck back into your hand, and we're just gonna come into a couple opening twists. So you're twisting from your ribs, not from your hips. So you're gonna open up to the side. You're pressing into that right hand, opening up. Ooh, feels like so much opening for me. And then back down to center. We'll do 5 on each side. So opening up at your own speed, feeling that opening hopefully in your shoulder and your chest. Again, those hips are staying as even as you can here. I feel the radioactive eggs moving through my digestive system. Good, when you're done with those 5, you can switch to the other side. So that right hand will go on the back of your neck, finding that stability, and then really trying to twist from those ribs, opening up that chest and thoracic spine, and then closing. I would also love feedback on it if this feels hard for people, because this feels very hard for me. It's good to know if other people are feeling that. Good, when you're done with those 5, you can take a second, shake it out, grab some water, whatever you need, and we'll hop right into our interval. Okay, so for our interval, we'll be doing exercise A, and then for 30 seconds. For the second 30 seconds, it will be exercise A plus B, so a new exercise and then combined. Final 30 seconds will be A plus B plus C for 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds of rest. It'll make sense when you see them all together. So the first exercise is going to be just a crunch. So if you've crunched my class before, bringing those hands behind your head if you want. Elbows are pointed up towards the ceiling, really pressing down with that low back, engaging the core, and we're just crunching up a couple inches and back down. For the next one, you're going to be combining them, so you're actually going to be making it into more of a sit-up. So you'll need to probably extend those arms because you're going to come all the way up, plant the hands, and come into a reverse table. Sit back down, extend, lift up, plant the hands, reverse table, back down. So then your final combination is going to be adding a crab reach. So you'll come into that sit up, into your table here. We're going to do opposite hand, opposite foot, opposite hand, opposite foot, and back down into your crunch. And so the nice thing about this is if you don't want to do a crab reach, you can just keep doing A or B or A and B for the final 30 seconds. there's a lot of autonomy in this. So that's our first one. We'll try it out. We're gonna do it twice. All right, so we're just starting with those crunches. And if you wanna make the crunches into just a sit-up, that's fine, just so you can have consistency. It is up to you. All right, ready, set, go. So finding whatever kind of crunch sit-up position you want here, as long as that lower back is staying on the ground. So just 30 seconds here. Finding control in that core. Really trying to get into those deep layers rather than just the superficial parts of your core. So remember, that second 30 seconds, we're adding on our table. Reverse table. In 3, 2, 1. So coming all the way up, bringing those hands behind you, squeezing up the glutes. It's not in the low back, dropping those hips slowly, kind of like an earthquake coming back down. Extending up, planting those hands, squeezing the glutes up, back down. So building a little bit of heat here, planting those hands, squeezing up. So in 10 seconds, if you want, we're adding on those crab reaches. In 3, 2, 1, we're coming up into that reverse table. If you want to add in those opposite crab reaches, then you're kind of combining all of 3 of these together at your own pace here, really squeezing the glutes for all of the reverse table movement. Nice, 10 seconds. Those sit-ups are not easy. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off here. Take a second and kind of check in. What felt too easy? What felt too hard? Do you want to speed it up? Do you want to slow it down? Anything in that crab reach is going to be harder the slower that you do it. So maybe you want to try that this time. Same thing with the crunch. We'll start in 10 seconds, back with our 30 seconds of crunches. All right, in 3, 2, 1, we're just, I guess I'm doing a sit-up now. So you can do a sit-up, you can do a crunch, your choice here. If you are doing a sit-up, really try to relax those shoulders down a bit so that the momentum is less from your upper back than your low back. All right, we're getting ready to add on that reverse table in 3, 2, 1. So coming up, squeezing those glutes, coming down slow. So again, if you want to find some more challenge, you can slow down on your lower out of that sit-up. So you can really find some milk there. All right, 10 seconds, and then we'll add on the crab reaches if you want. In 3, 2, 1. Finding some balance in those crab reaches. So you can always pick your level here. You can always just take level 1, level 2, whatever feels best to you here. 3, 2, 1, relax, nice. All right, that was our first round. We'll go into our second round. We're gonna stand up for this one, so we'll come into a sumo squat. So those feet are pretty wide, toes turned out here. First 30 seconds, we're just doing sumo squats, up and down. That second 30 seconds, and we'll be on one leg, actually for the whole first round, and then we'll switch to the other leg for the second and third part. So we'll be 1 sumo squat, 1 knee drive. 1 sumo squat, 1 knee drive. And then our add-on, our final one, so you'll do 1 sumo squat, 1 knee drive, come back, jump to the side, jump to the front, into that knee drive, sumo squat, jump to the side, jump back. So remember, if you don't want to do that jump, you'll just take level 2, so just into the sumo squat, into that knee drive instead. So choose your level, up to you. I'm already out of breath from demoing that. All right, so we're just starting with those sumo squats to begin. In 3, 2, 1. So toes turned out a little bit. If that doesn't feel good on your hips, feel free to just do a normal squat here. Try to stack yourself so you're over those hips. Oh, my balance. Core is engaged. Really squeeze in the glutes. So we'll start on our left leg this time. That's the leg we'll be lifting. And it's kind of an oblique crunch / knee drive in 3, 2, 1. So you're crunching that knee to the side, back down into that squat, crunching to the side, back down, crossing that knee. If you've ever done body combat, this feels like something that they would do. So if this feels good for you, in 10 seconds when we add on that jump, just stay here. This is challenging enough. If you want to add on that little bit of power, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. So you come into that squat, you jump to the side, jump to the front, we're back in, squat, jumping to the side, jump to the front, drive. Nice, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. The next round we'll go to the other leg. I'm grabbing some water. So again, all about levels here. So pick what feels best to you. I want this to feel fun, so challenge yourself, but there's a level where you also want to enjoy it. So back to those sumo squats in 3, 2, 1. So we're just back to our static, well, not static, but we're not jumping here. Nice and controlled. Try not to tilt the pelvis. So if you find yourself here, see if you can really try to tuck the hips and find more control. You can see I'm out of breath. All right, so this time we'll be lifting the right leg in 3, 2, 1. So sumo squat, knee drive. Sumo squat, knee drive. Oh, I'm not as good at this side. Knee drive. And again, choose your speed. This could be slow if you want it to be, and you could use more balance. It's really up to you. You would also speed it up. All right, so again, if you want to add on that jump, we'll add it on in 3, 2, 1. So sumo squat, jump to the side, jump to the front. Ooh, yeah, this leg. Nice, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, relax. Nice job, everyone. All right, feel free to grab some water. We'll go into our third round here. So we're back on the mat for this one. So exercise 1 is going to be leg lifts. So you can have those knees bent. So have them controlled here, or you can have them straight out for a normal or more standard leg lifts. If you can't keep that low back on the ground, make sure you're bending those knees so that you can. Second exercise, we'll be doing 1 leg lift, so A, into a reverse crunch for B. So leg lift, reverse crunch, and then our combo, so adding that C in, will be leg lift, reverse crunch, pause, toe touch, and back. So you're taking that momentum out when we pause for that toe touch. So each one is not gonna, you're not gonna slam the legs back and down, you're pausing, toe touch, and then back into it. It's gonna feel much different than when you just did that B, or A and B. Whew, I'm out of breath. All right, let's do it. Starting with just our leg lifts here, so choosing your options. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So you can bend those knees, you can bring the legs straight if you can keep that low back on the ground. You also don't worry about range of motion. If your range of motion is just, a foot down, a foot back up, that's fine. As long as you're listening to your body and that low back is staying on the ground, that is fine by me. All right, getting ready to add that reverse crunch in 3, 2, 1. So just trying to lift those hips a couple inches off the ground. Don't worry too much about lifting them up super high. You're really just trying to control that core here. And try not to slam that lower back down. So leg lift, reverse crunch. So we'll add on that toe touch in 3, 2, 1. So after that reverse crunch, you're pausing, reaching up towards the toes, we're back down, leg lift, reverse crunch, pause, toe touch. Good, 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. 30 seconds off here. Whew. Those reverse crunches really just get me every time. We have 20 seconds of recovery, so as always, take a second, see how you feel. I feel out of breath. I think it's because I only ate one meal today because I couldn't eat before my radioactive eggs. That is what I'm going to go with here. All right, we're back to those leg lifts in 3, 2, 1. So again, listening to that low back, that deep layer of core is engaged. So I find if I'm really being truthful with myself, I can't keep those legs straight and extend them all the way down. My lower back just totally comes off the ground. So sometimes I try and convince myself, but the reality is if I'm really listening to my core, it's telling me to stop here. 3, 2, 1. We're adding that reverse crunch if you want, and then that leg lift. So each movement is controlled here. Try not to slam down the legs in the leg lift or in the reverse crunch. All right, if you want to add on that toe touch here, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. So after that reverse crunch, you're pausing, reaching up towards the toes, back down, leg lift. Forgot my reverse crunch. Good, 3, 2, 1, relax. Whew. All right, we are theoretically halfway through these intervals, but you'll see. All right, next up, we're back to standing, kind of. So first exercise is just, everyone knows it, I think, but an inchworm, so we're walking out into that plank, walking back up to standing. Our second one is walking out into that plank. We're adding a shoulder tap here, and then walking back up. And then if you want to add on, you'll walk out into a plank. You'll do that shoulder tap, and then you'll add in a bottom half burpee, jump back, and come back up into that inchworm. You can also, instead of jumping in, you can also step into that bottom half burpee and step back out. You can always just not do the bottom half burpee. World is your oyster here. All right, let's start with that inchworm. Good, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. So you can bend those knees as much as you need, coming out, holding that plank for a second, and then walking back up. into that plank. 10 seconds. All right, adding that shoulder tap in 3, 2, 1. You can always drop those knees for the shoulder taps, 2 if that feels better. I recommend bringing the feet kind of wide for those. Helps you find a little bit more stability so that you're not moving the hips too much side to side. All right, 10 seconds if you want to add on the bottom half burpee. We'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Walking out here, so we're still doing that shoulder tap, and then if you want to jump those feet in, you can lift up a couple inches, jump back, and walk back up to the top. You can also step the feet in. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds off. I'm going to fill my water. All right, we're back into that inchworm in 15 seconds. You can shake out those legs if you need. You guys got this. We're going in 3, 2, 1. So you can always bend those knees here. You don't have to straighten out the legs. So we're just back into that standard inchworm. And I love the inchworm because you're really warming up and engaging every muscle here. So those glutes are engaged, the core is engaged, those shoulders. You may even be feeling a little bit in the hamstrings if you have some tight hamstrings. All right, we'll add on that shoulder tap in 3, 2, 1. Finding that plank, shoulder tap, walking back up here. All right, getting ready to add on that bottom half burpee in 3, 2, 1. If you want to add on, you can always just stay with your shoulder taps. Up to you. And if you have really tight hips, the bottom half burpees might feel like a lot for you too, so feel free to take them easy, whatever you need. Good. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Nice. We're back down. So this next round is very plank focused. We'll be in a plank for a lot of it. So if you think about it, you'll basically be holding a plank for a minute and a half. So some recommendations. So our first exercise is just going to be, our exercise A will just be a plank. So you can do this on your forearms, on your hands. We're just holding a plank. Second will be a plank row. So you're pulling that elbow up and back down, elbow up, back down. And then exercise number 3, we'll be doing a plank on each side. So 1, 2, and then I'm gonna drop my knees, but you're more than welcome to keep your toes tucked for that push-up. And then back into row, row, push-up. So options, you can always have the knees down for the whole time. You can lift them up for just the plank rows, whatever you feel. And you can also assess after the first round to see if you want to switch it a little bit for the second. So first 30 seconds, we're just holding a plank. All right, 3, 2, 1. Finding that plank position. Also, this is another place if you want to find those knees, that's fine too. So finding some length in the spine, tucking the hips a little bit, engaging the glutes. Those hands are pressing and pulling apart the floor. So getting ready to add on those planks. If you have the feet tucked, I recommend bringing them wide. We're gonna add on row. So we're just back and forth into these rows. Core is engaged. Again, this is another place you can drop those knees down if you want to have a little bit more control. Your choice. Hugging those elbows back. Three, two, one. So 2 rows, and then you're adding on that push up. So 1 row on each side. I'm gonna drop my knees, but feel free to stay on your knees. Push up. Row. Row. Push up. Good. 3, 2, 1. Relax. So this is a good time. If that really felt like your form was getting bad by the end, maybe you want to drop down onto the knees sooner. If you felt really strong, maybe you want to try to stick it out. Oh, I'm out of breath. All right, 10 seconds and we're back into just holding that plank for 30 seconds. You can always do it on your forearms too if your wrists are hurting. 3, 2, 1. Finding that plank, finding some length in the spine and in the neck. Also finding some of the mental strength, because it's not always just about that physical strength. All right, getting ready to add on those rows in 3, 2, 1. So elbow hug straight back, plant the hand, elbow hug straight back. Good. Nice. So try to keep the shoulders even here. So try not to open up the chest too much. You're really just hugging that elbow straight back and down. So we're not opening up like in a side plank. It's really just elbow straight up. All right, getting ready to add on that push up if you want in 3, 2, 1. "15 seconds left here, really finding that control. Good. 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, we have one last new round, and then the 7th round will be a choose your own adventure. So you can choose any of the ones that we've done previously to choose. So start to think about which one you would want to do. I kind of doubt it's going to be this next one, but feel free to choose that one. So I would say that number 6 is really inspired by Devin Ott, because she likes doing really evil things in her HIIT classes, and I feel like, you know, this one's an intense one. So everyone's favorite exercise, a hovering table. Just kidding. So planting those hands, we're back in that tabletop. You're tucking the toes here, and the knees are lifting up a couple inches. First 30 seconds, we're walking a couple inches forward. We're walking a couple back. Second, we're gonna be walking forward and back, and then side to side. So if you're walking, you know, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then you're finding that neutral. We're stepping to the side 2, back to the middle, side 2, back to the middle. That might feel like enough, but if you want to add on that 3rd one, you're going to do all of those. So front, back, side, side. And when you get back here, you can walk down into that forearm and walk back up. So that will be the cherry on top if you choose to do that. I will say 1.5 minutes is a long time. Feel free to stop for a second and join back in. I certainly will be. All right, so finding that hovering table. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So hovering table, and we're just doing 1 step forward, well, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, finding neutral. Oh yeah, we're just doing forward and back for the first one. So just a couple inches forward, couple inches back. And those knees are just hovering a couple inches off the ground. All right, we're adding on to the side ones here. So you can find that neutral, stepping to the side, back to the middle, stepping to that other side. Whew. Again, take breaks if you need it. 15 seconds. All right, if you want to add on that walk down and walk back up, now's your chance in 3, 2, 1. So forward to, I'm literally a masochist, and then to the middle, side, to the other side. If you want to add up, up, down, down, or back to the front, to the back, to the side. 3, 2, 1. Whew! Does that get your heart rate up or what? Holy moly. All right, we're doing that one more time, and then unless you choose it, you never have to do it again. I feel like Abby would choose this. I know, I feel that. All right, 10 seconds. We're doing it one last time. 3, 2, 1. So we're just forward and back here. So 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I think this one's the easiest one, and then it goes downhill from here. I feel like a bear that has just been like awoken from its den. All right, adding on that side in 3, 2, 1. Walking to the side, back to the middle, walking to the side, back to the middle. I'm taking my break. You got this. Woo! Forward, back. All right, if you want to add that up, down in the middle, now's your shot. Final 30 seconds here. Final 15, I know you're getting tired, I'm getting tired. You got this. Final 10. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Ow. All right, we have one final round, and this is where you get to choose what you want out of the 6 we did. I'll give you a reminder. Our first round was our crunch to reverse table to crab reach. Our second one was sumo squat to knee drive to jump squat to the side. Our third one was leg lifts to reverse crunch to toe touches. Fourth was inchworm to shoulder taps to bottom half burpees. 5 was plank to plank row push-up. And then 6 was hovering table forward and back, hovering table side to side, and then up, down, plank up, down. Everyone know what they're doing? Do you want me to repeat them again? We good? You can hear how out of breath I am. All right, let's do it. So hopefully everyone knows what they're doing. We'll be doing it twice, the same amount that we did the first time. All right, I'm choosing sumo squats. All right, ready, set, go. So choosing whatever one you want to do again here, your choice. I will be interested to hear what you all choose after this. I feel a sense of calm after all of those hovering tables. Like everything feels easier now that I got those over with. All right, getting ready to add on whatever that number 2 is here in 3, 2, 1. Let's see, here. So wherever you're at, you're adding on the A+B. If you need a reminder, you can just put it in the chat and I'll remind you. Good, 10 seconds. We'll add on that 3. In 3, 2, 1. You can always just stay with whatever A+B was for you, that's fine too. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds off here. We'll do that one last time and then we'll move on to our cool down. All right, 15 seconds left into that final round. You all got it. All right, starting that exercise A in 3, 2, 1. I'll come down so you can all see my face. So all you have left here is less than a minute and a half. Getting ready to add on that exercise B. So A+B in 3, 2, 1. I'm out of breath. All right, 10 seconds and then we'll add on that exercise C. In 3, 2, 1. Again, choosing your level here. There's no right answer. "15 seconds to go. Final push of the day. Three, 2, 1, relax. All right, we're gonna do one last little thing because we haven't done it in the past couple weeks. We're gonna end with our plank challenge. So planking until failure, which I hate that term because we're not failing, we're all succeeding. I know we're all a little bit tired probably, so this may not be the best plank we've ever done, but finding some of that endurance today. Again, finding in this plank whatever you want, so forearms, hands, knees. I will give you every 30 seconds, and then just let me know in the chat when you're done so I know when to shut off my timer, and then we'll start the cool down. So finding your mat, or if you're on the ground, finding that plank position. All right, let's find some of that mental strength in 3, 2, 1. So I'll tell you every 30 seconds where we are. Maybe you want to set a goal for yourself. Always fine if you don't need it. Life goes on. No one notices. I've been really working on keeping my neck neutral in my plank because I tend to drop it. Good, 30 seconds in here. Nice and controlled. It's really mind over matter. Your body can do more than you think. I'm so sweaty. Whew. Good, 1 minute in. Whenever you're done, just let me know in the chat. You can always do this on your knees too if that feels better. There's no right or wrong answer. All right, 1.5 minutes. Yeah, feel that, Abby? We'll see if I can make it to 2. Not sure. Good, 2 minutes. If you're still in, keep going. Just let me know whenever you're done. I'm literally dripping in sweat right now. Okay. Well, I hope Sarah's still going. You're a rock star. I'm literally so sweaty. Oh my gosh, Alex. Yeah, wow. All right, 2.5 minutes in. It's funny. I feel like one of my favorite parts of being a fitness instructor is the part where I get to be relatable. Where like, I can't plank for 20 hours. Like I can only plank for 2 minutes too. So I feel like the only thing I really have on you is that I have a certification. Other than that, you all are very qualified to be fitness instructors. All right, 3 minutes. If you're done, feel free to start stretching and then we'll hop into some more structured stretching whenever we're all done. Ow. My body's like shaking. I think it's from the radioactiveness of my body right now. Good, 3.5 minutes in. I think it's just Sarah, right? Yeah. Sarah, if you're still going, awesome. If you can't hear me, let me know. Well, I guess you would know if I'm talking. Okay, cool. Great job, everyone. All right, we're gonna find some real nice stretches because I want to stretch and I'm feeling, well, okay, I'd like to clarify, I'm not a big stretching fan. I think mobility is really important because it doesn't actually matter how flexible a muscle is if you can't move the joint. But anyway, okay, we're gonna start on our backs today. And we're just gonna start with rolling around those knees, so loosening up some of the fascia in your low back. Rolling out. So you're kind of using the ground as a way to roll out, which is kind of nice. All right, planting those feet, crossing the right leg over the left, but without just grabbing onto that left leg, we're gonna try to pull that left knee in. And then when you find that tension build, see if you can press out that right knee a little bit without using your hands. You may just wanna do this on the ground, that's fine. So you should feel that stretch up the back of your right glute and a little bit into your hamstring. If you have tight hips, you might feel this in your hips. All right, so this is gonna be where it gets a little bit wonky. So keeping that tight position, you're gonna tip over so that right foot is planted on the ground. So this is where you can push open a little bit into that hip if you want to start to open up the hip. If you want to get more of a spinal twist, you can bring those arms into like kind of a cactus position. This should still feel dynamic though. The right ankle should still be pressing into your left leg. You can open up that knee a little bit and you'll feel that hip flexor open. And then we're also getting some lengthening in our thoracic spine. All right, so now we're gonna take that right leg and just bring it on top and hug those knees in. And we're gonna move our whole body over to, I'm facing the left. So those arms are stacked on top of each other here, and we're just gonna do some shoulder opening. You can see I don't have a lot of shoulder mobility, so kind of bringing a whole circle to that arm. And you wanna keep the fingertips on the ground for as much of it as you can. For me, that's like 10%. And then bringing it back. So you're basically drawing a giant circle, opening up that chest down to your glute, and then opening that arm back up. You may feel some cracking or some weird noises. That's just your body trying to get into the fascia. Good, we'll do one more. Ooh. All right, and then using the strength of your core, you're gonna bring those knees back into the middle, dropping the legs down, and we'll switch over to the other side. So that left leg crosses over your right. If it feels good to keep that right foot on the ground and stay here. And then without grabbing the right leg, see if you can use some of that strength to press the right knee in, and you'll feel that opening. Once you feel that tension, you can use, again, that the connection of your ankle into your thigh to kind of open up that left knee. Not a ton, might just honestly be like a 1/2 inch. Again, try not to let that back arch pressing down with the low back. All right, we're tipping over here. This time the left leg is on the ground. You can press a little bit into that left knee if you want some more opening. You can also kind of just move the flesh away here if that feels good. Or if you want to come more into a spinal twist, you can come into cactus, but you really should feel that twist in your spine, your upper spine, rather than in your lumbar spine. You want your lower back to not really feel much here. And again, you're still finding tension between that connection of your ankle to your thigh. So you're still getting a little bit of opening here. All right, stacking those legs on top of each other. Those arms are coming out to the side. We're back into our shoulder opener. So this time, that left arm is drawing a circle all the way around down to your glute, and then opening all the way around and back to center. And again, this can be slow, it can be fast. Don't worry too much if it's, fairly slow, or if you don't have a lot of mobility, that's fine. Good, one more here. All right, rolling back to center, and then we'll roll up to a seat here. All right, you can come to some shoulder rolls. And then we're just gonna finish with one last neck stretch, just to, finish the whole stretching thing. So you can place your right hand on the ground and then start to drop your neck kind of at a diagonal so that chin is facing kind of towards your armpit, and see where it feels okay. And then you can take this left arm and kind of pull it out. So you should feel a lot of opening down your collarbone into your shoulder, and this big extensor here should be getting a nice stretch. This hand is off the ground for me. If that feels like way too much, you can keep the hand down. Especially if you find yourself looking down a lot at your phone or your computer, it's good to give these extensors a little bit of a stretch. All right, using that right hand, you're gonna bring your head back up to the middle so that it's not putting too much stress on your neck, and we'll switch to the other side. So that left hand comes down, you're dropping that chin kind of facing towards the armpit, And then that right arm is extending out. I could literally stay in this stretch for hours. Feels so nice. All right, using that left hand to press your skull back up into center. You have all made it A+. Great job. Oh yeah, Sarah, sorry, I didn't see that you had said done before, my bad. Thank you everyone for coming today. If you have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Also, I would love to know which thing you chose for the Choose Your Own Adventure one. That would be fun to hear if you want to put that in the chat. Other than that, I'll be back next week if you have any requests. Let me stop recording too.